What's going on, you little assholes? Are you wondering which Battlefield game is worth playing in 2022? I don't know if I should play this one. I don't know if I should play that one. Should I buy this one? Should I buy that one? I don't want to waste my money. Calm the fuck down. Sit up straight. Pull your wedgie out of your ass cheeks and listen to me, okay? Because we're going to be running through all of the Battlefield games one by one on my Xbox. Yes, my Xbox. Before you go down in the comment section and say, what about PlayStation? What about PC? Listen, okay? My PC is old as shit. It is not even good enough to run porn from 1945, let alone a Battlefield game right now.
What?
So unfortunately I can't do that. And then my PlayStation is somewhere in storage. It probably has dust and cockroaches inside of it making love to each other.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So I can't do that, but I do have information. PC, from what I've heard, I think Battlefield 4 is the most populated PC Battlefield game. I think Battlefield 5 is also pretty populated. I don't know about the older ones. Somebody down in the comment section, please leave that information. I would love that. I'll pin it. And then I have one of my friends, I only have two friends, but one of them said that on PlayStation, some of the older Battlefield games are don't have many players online, unfortunately, and I think the newer ones you're going to have no problems, but I want to run through these games one by one on my Xbox, and I'm going to recommend if I think you should be playing it, if it's worth playing in 2022. It's going to depend on a few factors. Of course, if there's players online. If there's no players on these games, why the hell would I recommend that shit? It doesn't make any sense. And then two, if, mechanically, some of the older games, if I just feel like they're outdated, if the graphics don't look great, if the mechanics and controls don't feel good, then I'm not going to recommend it. But yeah, let's get into this. Let's go one by one, starting from Battlefield 2 Modern Combat. I'm going to leave timestamps down below for each of the Battlefield games, and at the end of the timestamp, I will tell you if I recommend playing it or not, if I think it's still worth playing. And yeah, let's do this shit. The second oldest Battlefield game that you can play on Xbox is Battlefield Bad Company, the first one, and as you're seeing on the screen, into matches with less than 5 seconds. I'm sure that's longer than some of you guys last in bed, let's be honest here. And yeah, so getting the matches right away. Do I think this game is worth playing right now in current year? Hell no. I mean, you can see it on the screen, visually just not very pleasing to look at, kind of like myself. And then on top of that, the controls just feel outdated, very sluggish, non-responsive. The frame rates, I swear this game was running at like 10 frames per second on my Xbox. It's just, yeah, not worth going back to, in my personal opinion. If you have fond memories on this game, of course, you can see I'm getting into matches. So if you want to go relive some of your childhood, go for it. But if you are looking for a new Battlefield game to play, or you've never played this game and you're asking, do I think you should go back and play it? No, I don't. So there's definitely other Battlefield titles that are a lot better. And even the second one, Battlefield Bad Company 2, we're going to get to that in a minute. A massive improvement over this game. This game came out I think in like 2007, 2008, and it was around the same time as Call of Duty 4. And even if you're not a COD fan, Call of Duty 4, I could go back to that right now and it still looks decent. It still plays a lot better than this game. So Bad Company 1 is a no-go from me. Then we're moving on to Battlefield 1943. This game came out after Bad Company 1 and before Bad Company 2, and this is the title I felt like you could see the direction EA and DICE was trying to go with the franchise. This game feels a lot better. Even right now, it feels decent. A lot better than Bad Company 1 at least. And visually, it looks okay, but the problem with this game, I remember at the time, this game only launched, I think, with 3 multiplayer maps. 3! Are you kidding me? That's absolutely unacceptable. 3 multiplayer maps. I think to unlock the 4th multiplayer map, you had to sign up for like some service or subscription email dick in your ass or some weird thing. But yeah, EA and DICE has been trying to get away with weird stuff for years and years, apparently. We just don't let them get away with it anymore like we used to back in the day. So yeah, this game, like I said, it's pretty fun. It still holds up decent. There's still players online. And I just think there's better experiences you can get within the Battlefield franchise. But if this one's not bad, this is where it's starting to get a little bit better. I think this is definitely an improvement over the last two, at least nowadays. Like, I think it holds up a little bit better. So if you want to check this game out, I'm not saying it's the best Battlefield title to check out, but it's definitely not the worst either. So choice is up to you. Now we're moving on to the greatest Battlefield game ever created, and if you don't agree with me, go down in the comment section and tell me why you don't agree with me, and we can argue back and forth for about 5 days. I have nothing better to do, so let's just argue. Let's get our argue on, okay? Greatest Battlefield of all time. Moving on. So this game is where it starts to get a lot better in the franchise. This is the game that kind of revolutionized the franchise and took the franchise to new heights. And I still remember at the time, this is where people were kind of starting to switch from COD to Battlefield. Like, this is where everybody was like, oh, have you tried that new game, Battlefield Bad Company 2? And I'm like, I played the first one. It was kind of shit. Let me try the second one out. And this game was incredible. So some of the best multiplayer maps ever. Hill 137, Oasis, Harvest Day, Africa. Like, I could just go through all the White Pass. There's so many good maps in this game. I'm not really reviewing these games. I just had to mention those. The modern setting is fantastic. This game still has players online. Some of the lobbies aren't very populated, but it could depend on what time of the day you're playing. Like midday, I was getting into more full lobbies, and then at nighttime, I was kind of struggling to get into full lobbies. There's people on Rush, there's people on Conquest, but this is one of the few Battlefield games on Xbox 360 that I actually think is still pretty good and holds up pretty well. So one of the better Battlefield games all time, and I think if you want to try it out, I think it's definitely worth it even now. Moving on to Battlefield 3, which is the most recent Battlefield game. I correct myself. Battlefield 4 came out on the Xbox 360, but I'm not going to recommend playing that on the 360 because it's on the Xbox One, so why would you do that? Don't hurt yourself. And yeah, Battlefield 3, this game, what can I say about this? My second favorite Battlefield game in the franchise. Operation Metro, probably my favorite map in the entire series. And this game still looks pretty good. It still holds up great. Not great, but it still holds up fairly well. It's, like I said, it's the most recent or second most recent Xbox 360 Battlefield game. So even though Battlefield Bad Company 2 is my personal favorite, I still think this game is probably worth going to ahead of that, just because it seems like there's more players on it. If you go to server browser, somebody told me that the server browser is a little glitched on this game, but even if you just click quick match, you can still get into games really like right away, instantly. So no problems there. And like I said, if there's an Xbox 360 Battlefield game that you want to go and try, this is probably the one. Moving on from the Battlefield titles on Xbox 360, now we're jumping over on the Xbox One with Battlefield 4. Looking at the screen, look how many goddamn servers are active. Like, this is nuts. It's got to be at least 3, 4, maybe even 5,000 players online every single day. And can we just take a second, guys? This game is pushing a decade old. It is 8 or 9 years old now, and visually it still looks incredible. Graphics are amazing. You can't take that away from EA or DICE. Like, that's the one thing they do really well with all their games. All the bullshit aside, they make very, very good graphically looking games. And as far as this game, do I recommend it? 100,000 million fucking percent I recommend this game. This game, one of the best Battlefield games of all time in my opinion, probably top 3 or 4 on my list. And again, like I said, visually looks great. Gameplay wise, smooth as butter. It has actually received a frame rate upgrade on the newer Xboxes, so if you have one of those, even more of a reason why you should download it. It plays really good, it looks really good. And hopefully a lot of players stay on this game for years to come, because this is actually the Battlefield that I go back to the most. Like, out of all the games, I definitely go back to this one and play it whenever I'm craving to play some Battlefield games. This is the one I go to. So yeah, 100% a go from me. Download it, have some fun. I've also heard that it's very active on PC. I don't know if the person was lying to me, but that's what I've heard. Don't take it for 100% accuracy. Next up, we got everybody's favorite Battlefield, Battlefield Hardline. I am probably one of 500 people that actually enjoyed this game when it first came out. I think those numbers have grown over the years, because I've seen a lot of you guys in my comment sections on the Battlefield videos I've done say that you guys like this game too, so that's awesome, because this game was very innovative, very different from all the other Battlefield games, but I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And looking at the screen, you guys saw that there wasn't as many servers going as like Battlefield 4, which I kind of expected, but at least there is still some lobbies going. And visually, just like Battlefield 4, this game looks sexy as hell. Like, let's be honest here, this game looks so good. Almost 7 years old, still looks great, just like Battlefield 4. All of these games now are going to look great. Like, even the old ones on 360, they don't hold up as well visually, but these ones, like all the Xbox One and on ones, they all look great. But yeah, would I recommend this one in 2022? Honestly, I would maybe. I mean, I think if you've played Battlefield Hardline before, then yeah, go back to it. You're going to have more fun. But if you've never played it before, would I say go and try it now? no, go and play Battlefield 4, go play some of these other ones ahead of it. Next up, we got Battlefield 1, and I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, I played this back in March or April, I think, last, and there was not nearly as many active servers going on. I think there was only 3 or 4 at the time. I don't know if I hit it on a bad day or what, but it looks like there's a lot more players on it now, so that's great. Would I recommend playing Battlefield 1 today, currently? Honestly, it depends. I mean, look at the visuals for a second. Jesus Christ, this game looks good. You got the sandstorm, the wind blowing through my pubes. It's just, I felt like I was honestly running through wherever this map it takes place in World War I. But would I recommend it? Honestly, if you're a fan of this time period, if you're a fan of World War I games or World War II games, then I think, yeah, this is the most recent World War I Battlefield game, so there's nothing else you could really play. So this would definitely be your best bet. Still players online, so you can still have a lot of fun. But I do think there's other Battlefield games I would recommend ahead of this one. Battlefield 4, possibly Battlefield 5. It just depends. Are you a fan of World War II more? Then you want to play Battlefield 5. If you're a fan of World War I more, then you want to play this one, obviously. Pretty simple. But yeah, this was the highest, if I'm not mistaken, this is the highest selling Battlefield game of all time. And for a good reason, it was a solid installment into the franchise. Really, really enjoyed this one. Next up, we got Battlefield 5, which is one of the 3 most popular Battlefield games on Xbox currently. You got Battlefield 4, this game, and then Battlefield 2042. Haha, guys, I know we want to make jokes about that game. I love making jokes about it. I will laugh and clown that game till the day I die, but it is still the most recent Battlefield game, and it does have players on it. But yeah, like I said, Battlefield 5, one of the most popular games. It's only the 2nd oldest Battlefield game, so it makes sense. Quite a few servers every single day when you come on this game.
Pause.
I recommend playing it, just like I said in Battlefield 1. You know, I think if you're a fan of this time period, if you want to play a World War II shooter, then this is your best bet. It's the most recent World War II shooter in the Battlefield series, so what else are you going to play, right? But I would definitely put this up there for Battlefield games that you should still play in 2022. I would say this game, Battlefield 4, and maybe like Battlefield 3 or Bad Company 2. I like those games. They're not as populated, but I still really enjoy them. Yeah, can't go wrong with Battlefield 5. I've told myself millions of times I'm going to stop talking about Battlefield 2042. I was debating not even putting it in this video, but it's the most recent Battlefield game, so I thought, why not? I bought this game day one, played it for about a week, and never touched it again, never thought about it. Actually, I've thought about it a few times. I wanted to do some bad things to whoever created this game. But moving on from that, let me calm down. This game has gotten definitely better. I don't know personally, but from people that I know that still play this game, I don't know how they do it. They said that it's gotten a lot of patches over the last 5-6 months since it's been out, and it does play a lot better. It finally plays how it was supposed to, 7 months ago. So, yeah, you can go for it. I'm not going to do it personally. I'm not touching this game. I'm never going back to it. I had to for this video, but other than that, never doing it again. So, yeah, there's a lot of better Battlefield games. Even though this game is working properly now for the most part, I still think it's kind of a weak Battlefield game. And there's other ones that I mentioned in this video that you should go back and play instead of this one. And we're finally done, alright? So we just went through all the Battlefield games on Xbox that were available to me, and let me know down in the comment section which Battlefield game you still play current year. Do you play 2042? If you do, unsubscribe from me. I'm just kidding. But if you do play 2042, let me know how it's going. I've heard, like I said, I heard it's better. Tell me how you like it. Tell me if what's your favorite Battlefield game, which one. Give me your top 3. Give me your top 3 favorite Battlefield games of all time in order. Leave it down in the comment section. Like the video. This was, quite a bit of work to put through. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense, but I need to finish the video, so I'm not even going to cut this out. What was I trying to say? Oh yeah, like the video. It was a lot of work to go through all these games and get the gameplay and then talk over it. I mean, God, it's just the hardest work, guys. But seriously, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.